What's going on, guys? It's me, Paperback Dan. I have returned, kind of, just because I was at Baltimore Comic Con this weekend, still kind of recovering. But I had a blast and I bought so much stuff, and I just kind of wanted to do a little haul video. I might break this into two parts. Just show off some of the stuff you guys might recognize a little bit more first. And first things first, the plot twist of the century, but not really. I bought a hardcover. I know, me, Paperback Dan, with a hardcover. But it's not actually for me. I bought it for a friend. It's a gift because he likes Tom King, and I got him to write in it. And what's hilarious is Tom King wrote in it, but he didn't put his signature. I don't know if it slipped his mind or if he thought writing in it was enough. I don't know. But yeah, so I bought a hardcover, yes, but it's not for me. Anyway, so I raided through some $5 bins for some trades that I was either missing or whatever. This one though was $2 because of this little bitty damage right here. You can barely see it. I can barely see it. Maybe it's the remainder too, I'm not sure, but it's Breaklands by Justin Jordan. I believe this was a Comixology original, and I've been meaning to check it out. Like I said, it was $2. The back of the book says Mad Max meets Akira. That's enough for me, and I like Justin Jordan. $2. Easy sale. I mean, come on. Up next is Magnus Robot Fighter from Dynamite, which Magnus was a Valiant character at one point, and then the rights got sold. I don't really know all the history of that. But anyway, speaking of Valiant, Fred Van Lent, I enjoyed his Archer and Armstrong from Valiant, so I figured if he's writing this, it can't be all that bad. Plus, he's fighting robots. $5. It's an easy sale. And speaking of Valiant, I bought Faith Volume 1, because I have a bunch of the I have a bunch of the Valiant trades already. I didn't have this one, so easy to add to the collection. Up next from Aftershock is Oberon by Ryan Parrott. His name being on it is pretty much the whole reason I bought it. I like his Rogue Sun, and I think I read a couple other books of his, but the titles are escaping me. But big fan of Ryan Parrott. $5 is an easy sale for me. Another one from Aftershock is Replica by Paul Jenkins. I wasn't really sure what this book was about. I just liked the cover, and it was $5. Which again is an easy sale. Another $5 book is Tartarus. The artist, this is volume 2. The artist did not draw volume 1, which is why I didn't find it, because this was at his booth. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm not going to butcher it, but he's the same guy that just recently did Bloodnik for Image. I think that's what it's called. So this looks really cool as well. I like his art. So $5, I'll just have to track down the other one, which shouldn't be hard. Up next was one of my personal exciting finds, because this is a series that I read like ages ago on Comixology. I enjoyed it. I wanted it in my collection, but I couldn't justify paying like full price for a book that I'd already read. But this was $5, direct from the Xenoscope booth. So I was pretty excited about that. It's Evil Justice League. At the time that I read it, it was a little bit more of a fresh idea. I feel like it's kind of been played out now. But I did enjoy this, so $5. I was really happy to find this. Another Xenoscope book that I got is Monster Planet. I don't know any Xenoscope writers, to be completely honest with you. But their art's always pretty decent. And, I mean, it's about monsters. $5 is an easy sell for me. And I think they even gave me like a free comic because I bought stuff from them. So that's pretty cool. Up next is Frey by Joss Whedon. I didn't even know that this book was a thing, but I believe that the artist passed away recently, so I saw people talking about it, and that kind of made me curious. I do like the art. I don't know if this is the whole book or not. It doesn't have like a volume count or anything, so I'll have to do some research. But this is a pretty thick trade for $5, so I couldn't pass it up. And then up next is 2 volumes from Lion Forge, which I believe kind of doesn't exist anymore. I think they merged with Oni Press or something. But this is Kino, It's part of their Catalyst Prime universe, which is something that I really wanted to check out like 5 or 6 years ago, and I never got around to it because it just felt like a lot, and I wasn't sure if it would ever go anywhere. And to a point, I'm still not sure if it went anywhere, but finding these books in the wild for $5 kind of re-sparked my interest. So hopefully these two are good. Maybe it goes somewhere. Next up is Starlight by Mark Miller. I know that people are not crazy about him. Sometimes he's kind of edgy and stuff. Like, I get it. I totally understand. But I like his work, you know, within reason. I've never read a book by him that I didn't like. So it's one of the few that I'm missing in my collection. So once again, $5, and it was an easy sale. I'm easy to please, okay? That's all I can tell you. Now for some of the trades that I'm like really excited about. It's Good Boy by Source Point Press. This is Omnibus 1, so I'm hoping that means we get more, because this is probably some of the most fun that I've had reading a comic in the last 4 or 5 years. It's pretty awesome. Super graphic. It's basically John Wick, but the dog is the one that survives and does the killing, because dogs are like also people in this. Huge fun. Super happy to have it, because I haven't read the last few issues of it, the last volume. So excited to have the whole thing. Up next is one of my favorite books, probably. I'm a big fan of the Massiverse. I don't shy away from that. If you see any of my tweets or anything, I'm always hyping up the Massiverse when I can, within reason. Rogue Sun is probably my favorite book from that universe. This is by Ryan Parrott. This is volume 3. I've read the first 2 volumes and I really liked it. I got to see Kyle Higgins at his booth and talk to him a little bit, and he had this at his table, so I was pretty pumped about that. Also got Radiant Red. This is the first spin-off book in the Massiverse, and I never finished this. I read the first 4 or 5 issues, and it's like a heist story, basically, but it's cool. And the best part, Kyle Higgins gave me a little black light. I can get it to work. There we go. And he's stamped. I don't know if I'm able to do this very well, but oh, damn it. He signed it right there, stamp it. It says Stay Radiant on there. It's so cool. And I also got volume 5 of Radiant Black. This might be easier with my other hand. There we go. And he did the same thing, stamped it, signed it. I think it's so cool. I'm also just kind of excited to have a blacklight. I don't know why. I always thought they were cool as a kid. But anyway, Radiant Black Volume 5. I'm super pumped about this. Catalyst War sounds awesome, and I know the final issues are kind of on their way. So it's my time to catch up. This way I can read those issues as they come out. I got a handful of single issues as well. That's it for the trades. The first one is Flash Gordon, and this is written by Kevin Southland, I believe. It doesn't have his name on here, but he signed it. I don't know anything about Flash Gordon, but neither did the writer. Flash Gordon was actually a guest at Baltimore Comic Con. The guy who played him, I mean. And even the writer of this book said that he didn't know him from Flash Gordon. He knew him as Flash Gordon from Ted, which is also how I know him. So I figured if he wasn't really familiar with it, this is probably a safe jumping on point. And I mean, the cover looks really awesome. Like, look how detailed that is. And this is the B cover, and he gave it to me for the same price as the A cover, which is really cool. Up next is from Bad Idea. I'm kind of a sellout, but listen, the book was free. Okay, they basically handed it to me. They were shoving it in my face. We're standing in line. This is by Robert Venditti, who is one of my favorite writers. He's the whole reason I even stood in the line. Just wanted to chat with him for a second, and he signed this for free. So I was pretty pumped about that. He also signed this, which is another Bad Idea book. This one's called Survive. And these covers, they were giving them out for free. Everything I got from Bad Idea at the con was free, which is awesome, including a hat that oh, here it is. So this is Planet Death, which is the book that I just showed you. This one's Survive. And these covers were all one of one. They had a whole bunch of books like sprawled out across the table. Each cover was unique to itself. So I think that's really cool. His signature is a lot harder to see, but it's right there. So pretty excited about that. But speaking of Robert Venditti, I'm a huge fan of X-O Manowar, and that's why I wanted to get in line to begin with. I found this issue 50, even says milestone celebration down there. I found this issue 50 in a $3 bin, and I couldn't pass it up. This cover's sick, and I didn't take it out of the plastic yet, so I don't know if this free print is actually in there or not, or what it could be. We'll find out, but I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have to get a display case for this because I want to hang that somewhere. Up next, I got to meet Ryan Stegman, who did this cover of Thundercats, which I think is absolutely killer. Yeah, that's all I got for that. I mean, this was cool. I got to talk to Ryan for a couple of minutes, and I told him that I read his book, The Schlub, which apparently Image dropped because it didn't do well enough sales-wise, which is really disappointing because he left it kind of, not with a cliffhanger, but open-ended enough for there to be more story, and I was hoping for more, but just go buy The Schlub so that we can get more. Up next is the Jason Aaron #1 Deegan Pecoris cover variant. Deegan is like probably becoming my favorite cover artist these days. I really like his work, and I'm a huge sucker for the Turtles. This is like the 3rd or 4th Jason Aaron #1 that I have. It's not on purpose. It just, I see a cover and I like it, so I buy it. But yeah, this thing is sick. I'm a huge fan of it. But the thing that I'm probably most excited for is I got to meet Ryan Otley, and I bought this variant cover from him. It doesn't say the issue on here, but I believe it was number 8. It said on the little tag when I picked it up from. But like, this thing is so cool. It's got like everything I love about the book on this cover right here, so I can't wait to display this. But what's going to kill me is that I made the mistake of carrying too many things in my hand, and this book, of all the things that I was holding on to, this is the one book that slipped out of my hand and hit the ground. So there's a little nick in the corner, there's like a little dent, and it's not that bad, but like, I'm gonna know. And it happened within like 10 minutes of me buying the book, so it's really disappointing. But like I said, it doesn't look terrible. It'll still display really nicely. Still absolutely love this cover. And then the last thing, that's it for the books. Last thing is some art that I just wanted to show off, because I'm a big fan of like a lot of the artists that pass through and have booths and stuff. So real quick, I've been on a huge like Avatar: The Last Airbender kick lately, and I'm always a fan of this like style of work. So this was an easy pickup for me. I was kind of like on the hunt for some Avatar art, and nothing really jumped out at me, but then like on my way out the last day of the con, I saw this. The price was worth it because it came with the frame, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But I might have to get a new frame for it because I'm pretty sure this stand doesn't even work. I think it already fell over on me, but whatever, I'm just happy to have it. And then I've got all these prints that I cannot wait to frame and hang up somewhere. But one of my favorite artists at the con, Steve Messenger, last time I was at Baltimore Comic Con, he had a bunch of Turtles prints, so I bought all 4 Turtles and Casey Jones, which is why I'm not going to show them here. But keeping with that Turtles theme, this is probably my favorite one that I bought from him, The Last Ronin. Look at it. Usually, like, I don't go for black and white art, but something about this is just really cool to me. And then up next is Bebop and Rocksteady. So that also looks pretty cool. Got some foot ninjas in the back there too. And this time around, I had to get April. I mean, come on. So that looks pretty awesome. I like that she's got the camera and the microphone. But no Turtles set would be complete without the Shredder. Oddly enough, I don't think he had Splinter. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten that one. But yeah, can't not get Shredder. This is probably my second favorite one of the ones that I bought. There's more Foot Ninjas here too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, just I'm a big fan of the line work on these. And he was doing a buy four get one, so my fifth one, I couldn't figure out what to get because I'd run out of Turtles related things to get, so I had to go with my boy Gambit. This one's all purple, which I think is a really great touch. I like the effects coming off of the card here. It just, this whole thing is really cool to me. And I also had the pleasure of meeting Jay Lee, who did this, which I think is really cool. I didn't even know that he had drawn a cover for, I'm assuming it's a cover for Turtles in any way. And I also didn't notice that it had Jenica on there, which is kind of cool. One of my friends pointed it out to me when I showed it to him. But yeah, this thing, like, it's very simple, but in a good way. It's not like overdrawn or anything. I'm a big fan, and I'm a sucker for the Turtles. So that's that's all there is to that. Up next is the only non-comic related one you'll see here. It's Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up watching it. I love it. And originally I was just going to get, they had two separate prints, one of the heroes, one of the villains. Originally I was just going to get one for the heroes because I couldn't afford both. And then he's like, oh, I got this one. And I was like, okay, yeah, best of both worlds. Got it for the same price, so absolute steal. And because I'm a sucker for the Turtles, that cover that I showed you earlier, I bought it in a print form. I bought them 2 days apart, so I didn't realize I was going to get both. But I couldn't pass this up. I'm really in love with this artwork. I love the colors. Like I said, Deegan is becoming one of my favorite artists in general. And yeah, I wasn't going to skip on this. He actually, so the ones that are behind me, he also did these as well. I saw him last time I went to Baltimore Comic Con. It's how I discovered him. I bought some prints from him, and I was looking forward to him being there this time. Thankfully, he was. So I got an Invincible one and a Supermassive one that time. So keeping with the Invincible thing, I got Thrag. It's got the Battle Beast cloak or fur, whatever you want to call it. And I think this thing looks really cool. I'm probably going to have to get a few more Invincible characters from him. I know he's got a couple more. But yeah, really excited about this. But probably my favorite piece that I got the whole time I was at the con is this right here. This thing is so cool. I absolutely love all the colors. Like I said, I love his art, and I'm a huge fan of Supermassive and like the Massive Verse and everything that goes with it. But this thing is so cool. And he even put a little, I don't know if you can see that one, it's kind of hard. But this one, Shift is his character's name, and he made that glow with the black light, which I absolutely love. I'm really excited about this, and I'm probably going to buy frames for it as soon as I'm done recording this. But yeah, huge fan of this. And that's it. Try to keep that short. But I'm really excited about all of that stuff. Baltimore Comic Con was an incredible experience, and I got more stuff, and I'll show that off at a different time. But this was good. I managed to stay within my budget, which was one of my biggest goals after my first experience where I just did not have a plan. But Baltimore Comic Con, as always, gets a 2 thumbs up from me. I'm really excited about the stuff that I bought, and maybe in the next couple of videos, you'll see some of that stuff hanging up behind me. Who knows? Anyway, with that said, I will catch you guys later.